Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnanandana Salakaya Shakshuran Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Siguro Siyutapada Kamalam Sigurun Vaisnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sivisakan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandha Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyacha Kripasindubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaisnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadada Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. In the Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, we find the description about Ajamya and how the Yamadutas were trying to arrest Ajamya because he was a very sinful man. But subsequently, he had called his youngest son, Narayan. And at the time of death, he called out the name of his son Narayan because he was very affectionate towards that boy. And as he called out the name Narayan, suddenly the Yamadutas, who had already put ropes around his subtle body and were trying to pull him away, were stopped by effulgent personalities with forearms, the Vishnu Dutas. And then a discussion unfolded between the two. And the Yamadutas were surprised. Who are you? Who are you to interfere with the authority of Yamaraj, who is the supreme authority within this universe? And then the Vishnu Dutas established that Yamaraj was not the supreme authority, but rather that Lord Vishnu was the supreme authority. And later, Yamaraj confirmed the same, and it caused doubts in the Yamadutas. Why would we serve Yamaraj if he's not the supreme? In the same way, we are finding that Narada Muni at one point is worshipping Lord Brahma. And he is worshipping Lord Brahma as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as Bhagavan. And there also, and Lord Brahma is saying, no, I'm not Bhagavan. I'm not the Supreme. I'm simply the servant. The Supreme is Parameshwar, Sri Krishna. He is Bhagavan. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is a fact. Lord Krishna, he is Sadaisvarya Purna. He has all the opulences. Aisvaryasya samagrasya viryasya yasasa sriya jnana vairagyuschaiva sanam bhagam itingana. Which means that he has all beauty, all wealth, all knowledge, all strength, all fame, all renunciation. And in this way, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, Bhaunam Janmanamante Jnanavamam Prapadyante Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. It takes many lifetimes to come to this understanding, to this acceptance that Krishna is the Supreme. And to surrender to Him, to understand that He is everything, Vasudeva Sarvam Iti, that Krishna is the priority. So many lives, so many priorities, so many other important things to do. But to come to this point where one says Vasudeva is everything, this is really the point of initiation. In initiation, we are confirming this understanding. Initiation means we do not just understand that Vasudeva Sarvam Iti, that He is everything, or that He is the priority, but we act upon it, and we formally declare, from this day on, O Krishna, you will be the priority in my life. And everything else is also there. Yes. Other things are to be taken care of, but Krishna is the most important. And everything we do supports that. It is hard to say how life will unfold. That we don't know. Today, our Pushpinder is bright as the rising sun, which is nice in Melbourne. It's always nice. It's nice anywhere. It's encouraging to see that he is very serious about making Krishna the priority. Because a brahmachari, what does he need? It says Vamana Dev was a brahmachari. He asked for 3 steps of land. Why? Because all he needs is 3 steps to lie down. So he doesn't need a garden. He doesn't need a garage. He doesn't need so many things. Very simple. Said like a brahmachari and a grihastha are both dedicating their life to Krishna, but they do it in a different way. The brahmachari is looking at like, do I really need this? Do I really need this? Do I really need this? And if he can't just say yes, then he'll leave it. Whereas a grihastha was like, well, can I use this for Krishna? And if not, why not? Right? So, fill the house, because you never know. It might come in handy. I'm sure we have one of those things somewhere. We do. I forgot where, but we have it. I know we have it. So that is Grihastha life. It doesn't matter in both situations. The essence is service to Krishna. Whether one's cloth is sparkling bright as the sun, it doesn't mean that one is a great devotee. Because in the Pajavali it is stated, not by wearing saffron cloth, not by great vows, not by austerity is the Supreme Lord attained, right? But by devotional service. Yes, it is said that renunciation is not one of the 64 limbs of bhakti. It doesn't give you bhakti. Right? I read that after I took sannyas, and then I was thinking, why did I go through all this trouble? Of renunciation is not even part of bhakti. But renunciation is a preliminary thing. There is one advantage to it. It gives us a lot of time. It just gives us a lot of time. Somehow or other, without saying anything negative about the Grihastha ashram, it gives you a lot to do, a lot of things to do. And when you're alone, life is very simple and you have a lot of time. So that time and energy can be used in the service of Krishna. And that is the advantage of brahmachari life. So it is nice that you've made this choice, because it will give you more time for devotional service. And devotional service is the essence in life. As much as possible. That is the idea. And also, it is taking responsibility in devotional service that will lift us above the three modes of material nature. We are not Haridas Thakur. How much can we chant? 16 rounds minimum is just about what we can handle. Sometimes a little more, but many times struggling to even do that, our 16 rounds. That is reality. But something practical we can do. Because that we are used to, that we have done for so long. So practical things we can manage in this way. It is not complicated. We just do these practical things, but now in service for Krishna. Not for our own gain, for our own profit, but just for the pleasure of Krishna, for whatever Krishna needs, that we will do. And there, in taking responsibility in these things, then we will rise above the sensual platform. Sarira avijjaja yudendriya tahikala. These senses are like a network leading to death. Right? They bind us again and again in the material body, life after life. And these senses then, they trap us. Sarira avijjaja. Just like a fly is caught in a web. But the tongue, it is the tongue, jiva vile visaya sagare. It is the tongue that will help us to cross the ocean of material nescience. That tongue has to be engaged. Sevan mukehi jivado swayameva spuratyada. That tongue has to be engaged in chanting the holy name of Krishna. And in speaking about Krishna, somehow or other, that is our first devotional service. It begins there, with the chanting of the holy name. But then, after we completed our 16 rounds, then it is time to do something practical in the Hare Krishna movement, because this entire movement is dedicated to the holy name. And devotional service in this movement is service to the holy name, because the purpose of this movement is to spread the chanting of the holy name. So everything we do is for that purpose. Crossways, it is simply to get people to chant. Sometimes we say, eat yourself back to Godhead, but it's not entirely like that, right? Because just by taking prasadam alone, it will not suffice. One becomes purified, but one must chant. One must chant. So it is preliminary. Prasadam distribution is a preliminary activity, bringing people, and an accompanying activity, a supporting activity, which will bring people to the point of chanting Hare Krishna, and which will help them to continue chanting Hare Krishna. So the essence is to get people to chant somehow or other. That is the idea, to chant the holy name of the Lord. So therefore, the focus in the vows of initiation, is the chanting of the holy name. Although we will also promise 4 regulative principles, By following 4 regulative principles, one doesn't go back to Godhead. It is simply by following 4 regulative principles, one rises above the animal platform. And Hare Nidra Maitunams Cha. The activities of eating, mating, sleeping and defending are the activities of the animal. When human beings are doing the same, then they are Dvipadapasus, or 2-legged animals, so it is described. Or Pasubir Sasamana, equal to animals. Therefore, Dharmena Hina Pasubir Sasamana, without striving for spiritual elevation, one cannot rise above the animal platform. So we fix the 4 regulative principles by vows, so that we will surely remain above that animal platform, on the human platform. But that is not enough. Therefore, the essence of this initiation today is the minimum of 16 rounds. That is the very essence. And that we have to, and not just 16 mechanical rounds, but 16 attentive rounds. Not 16 rounds here and there, and in between, one here and one hanging there, and then 3 sort of at a block. And that kind of chanting is fulfilling a quota. And in emergencies, what can we do? But if that becomes our regular standard, it won't nourish us. It won't actually give us strength. The strength that we need to remain on this path. Durgame patimen dasyas kalat padakatir muhuyat kripasvastidanena santa santa avalambanam. My path is very difficult. My feet are slipping again and again. And therefore, we are not recording today, is it? No. Camera, okay. Yeah. Because it's good to listen again to the initiation lecture. Every day a big recorder is there, but not today. Anyway, camera. Yes, we must somehow or other chant attentively and chant good quality names. Because that is the source of our strengths. Because Krishna, He is the supreme pure. Krishna is the source of purity. Without Krishna, where is there purity? Without Krishna, we certainly become contaminated. Without taking shelter of Krishna, the material energy will influence us somehow or other, again and again. It cannot be done by a decision. Today, on this day of initiation, I decide that I will be a devotee for the rest of my life. It cannot be done that way. Decision is not the process. It is not by determination that we will be Krishna conscious. Determination is required. It is a prerequisite. But determination to take shelter of the process. And the essence is then chanting. Of course, there are 64 limbs of bhakti. Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atma, Nivedanam. That is 9 processes of bhakti, and then it expands into 64 limbs of bhakti. And these 64 limbs of bhakti are the building stones of our spiritual life. One cannot think that spiritual life will just happen and that we go on automatic pilot. We have to construct a spiritual life by bringing these elements in. So it is very helpful to read the first 19 chapters of the Nectar of Devotion. And that is my request to you, that after this initiation you read the first 19 chapters of the Nectar of Devotion. Oh, you may have already read, but then you just read again. Because the nectar of devotion is a very important book. It is like a handbook of Krishna consciousness. Of course, there are different parts in the book. The first 19 chapters are the Eastern division. It is an ocean of bhakti. And the Eastern division of the ocean of bhakti is where the sun is rising, where the process begins. Then there are other divisions in the ocean of bhakti. So the first 19 chapters are the Eastern division. And in this Eastern division, we are beginning the process of bhakti. And it gives us there an overview of the entire process of bhakti. From Shraddha to Prem, or from the initial stage of beginning faith to the stage of perfection, love of God. The later divisions of the book are describing more about ecstatic symptoms, which is nice, of course, very nice, but maybe a little bit over our head for the time being. That's why I'm emphasizing the first 19 chapters. But by reading them again, we'll refresh our remembrance of what to do, of what really to do, of which things to do. So, spiritual life is not just a matter of going on automatic pilot. Although, anartapasamam sad bhakti yoga madokshaje, that this process of devotional service, it will automatically purify us. Srila Prabhupada said, everyone in this movement will become purified. Whatever one is doing, even if one is sleeping in the Brahmacharya ashram, still get purified, because at least we sleep in the Brahmacharya ashram. But there are ways that one can get purified more by eagerness to serve, eagerness to hear. The saffron cloth is actually the property of the sannyasis. It is actually not the property of the brahmacharis. According to the Hari Bhakti Vilas, the brahmacharis should be in white cloth. But it is Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur who lent the saffron cloth to the brahmacharis for the sake of preaching. He only lent it to them because it cannot be their property, because it is the property of the sannyasis. But we are lending it on behalf of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta to the brahmacharis. They may also wear it for the sake of preaching. Normally, saffron cloth is for life. It is not that one should change it. One should not change it. Of course, a brahmachari is a little different than a sannyasi, because a sannyasi locks the door and throws the key away. But the brahmachari, he locks the front door, but the back door is still open. So there is some difference between the ashrams, right? The back door is still open. There is still that opportunity to get out. But don't go out just too easily out of the back door. That is my request. Putting on saffron cloth is a deep decision. It's not something you do from, well, I'm taking initiation now and I'm not married. See, that's how it used to be. It is a nice ringtone. Auspicious. Anyway, so it's not, it used to be in this movement, are you married? No. Do you have a girlfriend? No. Okay, then you're a brahmachari. Boom, you know, and they throw saffron cloth at you, and it's like, wow, I'm a brahmachari. And that was about it. But nowadays, we know a little bit more. Now we have more knowledge of the culture of Bhakti Yoga, or of the cultivation of Bhakti Yoga. So this Brahmacharya is to be taken after deep deliberation. And one is taking the saffron cloth with the idea from, not with the idea from, I'll see how long it lasts. You see, it's like if on a fast day, you go, I'll fast today, I see how long I last. Yeah? You probably, if you do that, you're probably not going to make it till the end of the day. I'll fast. But if they have carrot halva, then, that's my favorite, orange and everything, then I'll have some. Right? So then at lunchtime you go see if there is carrot halva, and there is not. But there's another preparation which you forgot about, but which you actually also like, And so he's like, well, I'll just have a little bit, I fasted till noon. So in that way, if one approaches the Brahmacharya ashram in that way, from I'll see how long I last, then one may not last. Now to promise for life, that is sannyas. But one should say, no, I'm at least gonna last some substantial time. And then say, some brahmacharis take an internal vow of 5 years, or like, I do it at least 5 years, I'll do it. And then can be extended. But because this time is an opportunity to learn many things in the service of the Lord. And if one can carry on after that 5 years, all the best. Better still. So ashram is helpful to engage in the cultivation of our Krishna consciousness, to hear, to chant, to remember, to serve. Ashram is helpful for all these things. So I'm happy with the change of ashram. But now I want you to keep it. Don't write. Like yesterday, one brahmachari wrote to me, and he said, we discussed different solutions to my situations and different services we could do. But I didn't think of one thing, he wrote. Well, I knew what was coming then. And sure enough, bhaktin, Anyway, he didn't think of that, no, what to do. Not that I'm against marriage. It used to be that brahmacharya was very much pushed in this movement, and we had an ocean of saffron and specks of white. I used to be a speck of white. Bhakta was also a speck of white. It's more than a speck, he was he made up for all the saffron, But anyway, what can I say? And I was like in white, and they, married, and they would look at me like second-class citizen, But it's all right, you fallen householder. We'll tolerate you. After all, you're also a Vaishnava, and thus I was tolerated. Right? Anyway, the roles have reversed, eh? Anyway, what can I say? Because these days, it's a speck of saffron in an ocean of white. So this is not here I'm not emphasizing brahmacharya as the preferred solution for most? I don't think so. I don't think so. Most men it will be good for them to be married. But I think once you take to saffron, then you have to take it very serious. That I do think. It is a serious commitment. That's why, although in this lecture it is a secondary thing, because our primary purpose today is to be a devotee for the rest of our life and to chant Hare Krishna and to give up all sinful activities. But since we're doing two things, also fixing the ashram, I spoke about the ashram also at length. In the chanting of Hare Krishna, there are 10 offenses to be avoided. These 10 offenses are important. We are reciting them in our temples after Mangalarti. Let's see. It may take a little too long if I emphasize all of them. But we must be respectful to the Vaishnavas, respectful to the scriptures, respectful to Vedic culture, respectful to the holy name, appreciating the demigods and being respectful to them, but knowing that they cannot not reward us eternal benefit. That only Lord Vishnu can do, and only Krishna can reward love of God. We should know that purity is required. These are some of the points that are made. And when we always respect the Vaishnavas, then surely we will be successful in spiritual life. So these 10 offenses mentioned in the Padma Purana must be avoided in the chanting of the holy name. So I am in an initiation lecture, one tries to give some emphasize some important things before someone goes on a journey. Right? I sometimes compare it to at the time of initiation, we put someone in a little boat. And in that little boat, he is supposed to cross the ocean of nescience, which is full of heavy waves and full of crocodiles and sharks and whatnot. So we've put you in the boat. So you're sitting all by yourself on a little mat, your little boat, ready to cross the ocean. Of course, it is the boat of transcendental knowledge, because it's divya jnanam, it is transcendental knowledge, which is what will be given at the time of initiation. So, I'll put you in the little boat. I've sort of hinted where the survival kit is in the boat. I've sort of, given some hints of how to steer the boat and how to keep the boat. And then you sort of like dozing a little, sitting in your little boat. At least the mind is on passive. The voice of the speaker is like little waves in water, endlessly going on. And then suddenly, we will give that boat a push. And we're going to push Pushpinder.